Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Walk in Favor Network. I'm Pastor K, and I have a thought today, but it's based on an illustration. The illustration is a true story, and I really wanted to share this with you today. So here it goes. Every year in Australia, they host a race. And this race is a marathon and it's 543.7 miles. That's a big race there. It takes 5 days to complete, but you don't have to complete the run straight through. You could sleep, over a 6 hour time period and then get back up and start running again. A lot of people never ran it straight through. And most of the athletes who ran the race, they were all under 30 years old. So they were young, their bodies was, in the best of shape, had lots of stamina. So they had no issue with the race. In 1983, a 61-year-old man by the name of Cliff Young, he showed up at the race. And he had on overalls, he had on work boots, and everybody thought that he was just going to be a spectator until he went and he got a number and lined up to run this race. All the other runners, they were laughing at him. They were saying, look at this old man. And they was like, man, how your arthritis doing today? Pops, you don't embarrass yourself trying to do this. They were really saying, you crazy. There's no way you're going to even get close to finishing. Why are you doing this? Mr. Cliff said, I grew up on a farm. We didn't have a tractor or horses. I had to herd up sheep. I had to plow by hand. I had to do most of the work by hand over a 200-acre farm. He said I had to run with the sheep sometimes 2 to 3 days. Now, they're not paying attention to what the old man is saying. The race began, and Cliff, he didn't take off real fast like the young runners. He just shuffled along at his own pace. Now, watch this. As time went on, all of the runners start to take breaks. But no one ever noticed that the old man, Cliff, never did take breaks. He just kept shuffling along. A lot of the younger race runners, they would take naps. They would eat. They would just relax because they were young men. They're like, oh, we can get up and pick it up. And as time went on, all the runners didn't realize it. But once they got closer to the finish line, by the fifth night, they were all tired and they were sleeping. Guess what? Cliff, the 61-year-old man, had done crossed the finish line while they were sleeping. He was awarded the prize money, which he didn't even know it was a prize waiting for him. It was $10,000. And so when they awarded him, he said, I didn't do this to win a prize. I was just doing this because I enjoyed running and I wanted to test and challenge myself to see if I could make it through 543 miles running. And I did it. And once the younger guys realized that Mr. Cliff, the 61-year-old, had crossed the finish line, the young guys was like, we cannot believe this happened. He had to cheat. What did he do? He said, no, while y'all was sleeping, I kept running. I kept shuffling along, moving in silence while you were sleeping. Don't miss this. I kept moving while you were sleeping. See, there's some people out there, you need to hear this today. You need to keep moving while somebody else is sleeping. You need to move in silence, but yet be moving, shuffling along. And what Cliff said to the young guys, he said, you know what? I didn't run this race to win a prize. He said, all I have ever known to do all my life is to never give up and never be afraid to try something new. I was always taught nothing will beat a failure if you never try. And I succeeded at doing something I didn't know if I could ever do, and I made it. Mr. Cliff took that $10,000 prize money and he split it between all of the other young runners there. He didn't keep a dime for himself. Now the story ends with, he says, you know what? All my life I've been laughed at. People have mocked me. People have thought I was a nothing. But in God's eyesight, I am something. And he said, all I know how to do is shuffle along and walk by faith. I ran this race on nothing but faith, not my ability, not because I had trained with any athletic department, but I had trained just by my life experiences. He says, people have always doubted me. But he said, I believe in myself, but I believe in God also. He said, I'm going to keep running. I'm going to keep shuffling along because I believe there is nothing too hard for the Lord. Y'all, to bring this story to a close, the next year he couldn't run the race, Mr. Cliff, because he had broken his hip. But at age 76, he ran the race again. And this time he came in 5th. Mr. Cliff lived until he was 81 years old, and passed away in 2003. I shared this story with you today to let you know, don't stop running. If you can't run, shuffle along, but don't stop. Don't ever be afraid to try something simply because it looks bigger than something you've ever done before. Don't be afraid to try something and step out on faith because you're worrying about what people may say. And most importantly, don't ever be afraid to try or step out on faith worrying about what if it doesn't work out or what if I fail. That's not faith worrying about what if you fail. Faith is stepping out on something and you don't know how it's going to turn out, but you believe that God will make a way for you. That's my thought for today. He will make a way if you just trust him and step out on faith. Y'all, think about that. Get balanced. Focus on positive things. Focus on the good things in life. It's so much negativity around you, but focus on only the things that you have control over. Because many things going on, we got no control over. What you can control is what you can control. And that is your thoughts. You got to take a grip of your thoughts and your mind, and you've got to believe that when nothing else is working, you've got to call on the Lord and believe that he will answer your prayer. Now, sometimes his prayer, your prayers, the answer to them, the answer might be no. The answer might be maybe. The answer might be wait a while. Or the answer may be, I'm a right now God. At any rate, you got to put your trust in him. You all, please make sure you like, share, and comment at the end of the video. Email me, please. I welcome those emails. Don't forget, if you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free, and that notification bell so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you back tomorrow with your midweek word. Y'all be blessed and watch as well as pray.